Deep within the walls of the world's smallest sovereign state, hidden inside a medieval tower known as the Fortress of Nicholas V, sits a financial engine that operates entirely outside the laws of any nation. It is officially called the Institute for Works of Religion, DOSSIER, but to the global intelligence community, it is known simply as the Vatican Bank. Unlike the commercial banks or even the Bank of Crooks and Criminals, we have audited in previous files. This institution does not answer to the SEC, the IMF, or any secular regulator. It is a sovereign black box. For decades, it thrived in a noise floor of incense and prayer, but our forensic investigation reveals a different reality. This isn't just a place for donations. It is the ultimate institutional seduction, where holiness is used as a firewall to hide the pulse layering of billions. Tonight, we perform the clinical autopsy on the only bank on Earth that is legally allowed to audit itself. The Vatican Bank was not built for transparency. It was designed as a ghost in the machine. For most of its history, the bank operated without standard account numbers. Instead, it used the names of the elite politicians, high-ranking clerics, and friends of the family, allowing assets to move through the global ledger like a phantom signal. From a computer science perspective, this is a zero-trust environment where the systemic failure isn't a bug. It's the primary feature. Because the bank exists within a sovereign state, it creates a jurisdictional blind spot. This allows for institutional seduction on a massive scale, where the system is designed to trust the clerical robes while ignoring the ledger. In this environment, the humanos is bypassed entirely. It is a private financial ecosystem where the only rule is absolute silence, and the shadow department uses this silence to move capital that would trigger every red flag in a standard bank. All empires, no matter how sacred their facade, eventually reach their forensic expiration. In June 1982, the world witnessed the violent collapse of this secrecy when Roberto Calvi, known as God's banker, was found hanging under Blackfriars Bridge in London. Calvi was the head of Banco Ambrosiano, but the forensic trail of his $1.3 billion collapse led straight back to the IOR. The bank wasn't just storing wealth, it was acting as a shadow proxy for money laundering operations. Involving the P2 Masonic Lodge and the Sicilian Mafia, they utilized a tactic we call back-to-back layering. A client would deposit dirty cash in an offshore shell company, which would then serve as collateral for a clean loan issued by the Vatican-backed banks in Milan or London. It was a massive ghost ledger that functioned with the same one-day solvency logic we saw in the BCCI scandal. This is the signature of the shadow department, using a facade of divine authority to mask a high-stakes criminal extraction. But the most dangerous extraction isn't the gold in the vault. It's the information laundering of human history. While the bank was shielding its financial ledgers, the institution was also guarding the unredacted archive of humanity, 53 miles of shelving, containing files that could rewrite the story of our species. In the 16th century, the same power structures that built these financial engines performed a systemic redaction of the spiritual record. This was a global extraction of truth. They stripped 15 critical files from the record, leaving the West with a fragmented 66-book redacted ledger. They removed the Metsihafe Aximaros, Book of Enoch, and the Fikkare Iyasus, the very documents that provide the audit trail for the origin of the Watchers and the systemic control of the shadow department. They laundered the books to hide the heist. By controlling the information floor, they ensure that the masses never realize they are living inside a Trojan horse system, designed to extract their autonomy. This contagion did not end with the death of Roberto Calvi. In 2013, the system faced another forensic expiration when a high-ranking cleric known as Monsignor 500 was arrested for attempting to smuggle $26 million in cash across borders via private jet. Despite recent transparency reforms, the Vatican Bank remains a zero-trust identity system. Currently, the bank is entangled in a $350 million forensic scandal involving luxury real estate in London, purchased using Peter's Pence donations meant for the poor. This is the systemic contagion in its purest form. The extraction of the small, human asset to fuel the institutional ego. When an organization owns the bank, the regulators, and the Holy Archive, they don't just own the money, they own the logic bomb that dictates human reality. The audit of the Vatican Bank proves that the heist on human history is a multi-layered operation. The Shadow Department uses the money to fund the physical infrastructure of control, but they use the laundered archive to control the human soul. The 66-book record is a redacted statement designed to keep you in the dark. But the original unredacted ledger still exists. The 81-book canon preserved in the Ethiopian archive is the master key to the encryption. We are moving our investigation from the bank vaults to the forbidden libraries. The next file reveals the heist on the 81-book canon and why they are terrified of what is written in the Ge'ez manuscripts. This is the Zion Sentinel. Follow the truth. Protect the soul